That's a wrap.
That's right.
Okay. Woo.
Thank you, Mike, for coming.
Tacos.
Appreciate you.
Tacos.
Yeah.
Tacos. We have a taco truck out back.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Mike. And for our viewers, could you give yourself a little background, like, I guess, who you are?
Oh, okay. So,
Your career, maybe. Start there.
so I grew up in Burbank. I was in the wholesale plumbing supply business for a long time. My family owned a wholesale plumbing supply company, so I got my background in dealing with people and inventory and managing and this and that through that until age 20. Tended bar for a couple of years, moved to Newport, met Bob McKnight, absolutely one of the best guys I've ever known in my life, great guy, and became friends and went surfing with him and all. And then Bob started a company called, I was working at the Red Onion actually up in Newport, and Bob started a company called Quiksilver, and him and a guy named Tom Holbrook, another excellent guy, and a bunch of just great people all got together and started it. And
What year was this?
1813, I think.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You look great for your age.
1893.
You ought to see me naked.
Marlin.
So they started that about 1976 in Newport, and like everybody started out of a small, tiny little building up on Production Place, and after a couple of years, and they got bigger, McKnight said, "Hey, why don't you go call this guy and start working at Surfing Magazine?" So I went down there and did ads for Surfing Magazine for a couple of years, learned a bunch more. And then McKnight called me and said, "Hey, we need help. Want you to come up and be director of sales up at Quiksilver." And I was like blown away and honored and scared to death and this and that, but went up and went with Quiksilver for probably about 4 or 5 years, 5 years, I think. And
Just to stop you real quick so we could dive into Quiksilver before you go into all your other achievements. How big was Quiksilver when you got in there?
when I got in there, I think we were about 2 million, and there were probably about 6 sales reps, I think, 5 sales reps. So I went in and started doing my boogie on everything. And when I left, I think we were about 30 million, and we had gone public. We hit
You
about
went public at 30 million.
no, we went public at about 18.6 million.
Wow.
Wow.
Did you have
seems like a
equity
bold
before
move.
that?
Say it again.
Did you have any equity before they went public?
No, I was not an owner
Okay.
of the company then. And went up to about 30 million. And then as companies grow and things started expanding, a couple things were hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
We hired a couple people that were hard to deal with, and they didn't have the vision that we had all had since the beginning. And
Would you say it got too corporate?
it got too political, actually.
The difference.
I wouldn't say necessarily corporate, but it got too political. So at the meantime, I had worked at surfing and I got to know Bob Hurley over at Billabong, and he'd talked to me a couple times about working at Billabong. Oh, wait. So then Bob started Billabong and asked me to come in as a partner. So I went in and
Well, Bob didn't start Billabong. He
in the
took
USA.
the USA.
Yeah, he was a licensee in the USA.
Got it.
So my wife and I gave him a bunch of money, and we owned a bunch of the stock, and then I got wooed by Quick, and went to work at Quick and sold my stock back to Hurley, and then walked away from that, and then not Hurley International. I'm sorry, Bob Hurley, and then we went to. We grew Quiksilver, and then it got political, and then I left Quiksilver and went. Bob was trying to get me to work for Billabong, so I went back to Billabong, not as an owner at that point, and worked there for 15 years, I think. And in that time period, we as a company walked away from Billabong, gave it back to the Australians, Gordon Merchant and that whole group, and started Hurley International.
Yeah.
And that went on for a couple of years, and then it got real corporate, real political.
Yeah.
And I walked away from that, and then sold to Nike, sold the stock to Nike,
Yeah.
and there you go.
Yeah.
That was about it.
What do you think? There's a lot of questions because that is a very insane career, and we should probably dive into all of that. But
We kept going.
there
was more.
Before we go gnarly into the outer space here, what do you think is what created the politicization? That's the word I'm thinking of. Within those
Polarization?
companies. No, like what politicized it is maybe the word
Well,
within those. Do you think the
there's-
hires or what?
Yeah, there's people come in as you get bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, let me go back. When you start off, everyone's pure. Everybody's got the right attitude. Everybody's all for one for all, and it's all you're sleeping in the same bed. You're just buds, and you're doing the right things for the right reasons, and it's just bitching. Just seeing JJ out there and your team downstairs.
Oh, we have a great team.
They're
Insane.
It's
That's
just
why I
insane.
asked. I was wondering because
Yeah.
it's very applicable.
That's scary.
It's scary. That's why I want
Well,
to know.
his answer is scary.
Tell me the future.
don't wanna
I
know the
know,
future.
but we can learn from it, dude.
Let us be
Yeah.
happy. Let us be happy.
No, learn from it.
Yeah.
And as things started to grow and people started to make more money, including myself, you have your ways of doing things. Everyone has their ways of doing things. And as you grow, you need more expertise. Maybe the guys that worked for you and figured stuff out when you were 2 million or 5 million or whatever it is, aren't going to work right at 10 million. It's a different set of variables. And so as management, you have to look at the options. And one of the options is to bring someone in that's been there and kind of done it. But then with that goes your virginity. And then, all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're bending over for the growth of the company and you're trying to achieve the things that everyone wants to achieve because everyone wants to grow bigger and everyone wants to make more money, et cetera, et cetera. So I've said this for a million years. I'll bend over backwards for you. I'm just not going to bend over forwards for you. And we started.
That's a
So
great
gnarly.
thing.
It's a great saying, but visualizing that is kind of gnarly, man. The backwards thing.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that
limbo.
up to you.
Yeah. It's
So-
like limbo.
So
right there.
I guess a question from that is: at what point can you be happy and
Well,
stick at a certain number, or like when does it ever end? Was there ever an ending for you guys?
well, at Quiksilver, we all know the history of Quiksilver now, and Quiksilver's kind of come and gone. But everything in the world, I'm going to step back on my mountain now and give you a little philosophical look at things. But every company has 3 points: the day they start, the day they reach their peak, their pinnacle, and then the day they go out of business. And there's always, look at the companies. Look at Kodak, Eastman Kodak, one of the biggest companies in the world. They started, they hit $500 trillion or whatever they hit, and they went out of business. And it happens with everything and everybody. So everybody's aware of that without knowing it. Excuse me. Sorry. So everybody's aware of
I
that.
drew that on my notes because you used to always tell us that.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
how fast you're gonna rise is how fast you're gonna fall, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was going with the
the right side of the curve, it always matches the left side.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
if you go up like this, and
hockey stick.
sorta. Well,
That's what you used to
different one. But
Field
look
hockey.
at the companies. Well, you're too young to remember, but look at like a Gotcha. Gotcha came in. Michael Thompson was a great guy. He was a Quiksilver guy. Well, I won't even get into that. There's gnarly stories there. But
Please do.
he started off here and he just went to the moon. He went straight up like nobody went straight up. And then he got there and then he went straight down. But the guys take a company like Quik, it started off in Australia, in Torquay, Australia, back in, I don't know what it was, 70 probably. But he started, and it's just a nice, steady growth. And nobody had heart failure. As the guys started growing, he grew with them. They grew with him. He kept his people. And like McKnight kept his people. He kept his people close, and he went through the love and the hate and the problems with every guy. And there's guys like Holbrook that was there. He was with Quik for 30 years. I mean, seriously, in a young kid's
Yeah, it's a
company
whole
like that, who does that? Who takes the time take care of your people like that. Jeff Seabeck and Danny Kwok and all the guys that were in there, they were lifers. You know, we used to say, do you bleed black and gray? You know, are you Quiksilver? And that was a big deal. Now, companies, they just want to grow. I can't even tell you any of the companies right now, but they want to grow and take it through the roof and do whatever. You know, I think we kind of blew it by going public. You know, we sold our souls.
It did seem early when you said it was 18?
Yeah,
or how many?
18.6.
That seems early in my head. I always thought of like $100 million companies doing that in my head, but I don't know Wall Street at all. I'm probably the least savvy.
I think you
with
can go
that?
like whenever, but yeah, it does seem like
Whenever. What's the lowest
was-
you could be going into it?
Well, there's
Like
companies
we
now
could
that,
go public right now. And
Oh,
we'll-
yeah.
Yeah.
But it'd be a risk because then you're a small company. So is anybody going to trust in a small new company?
Yes,
You know?
Yeah.
happens all the time.
Yeah.
Look at
Interesting.
Rivian right now, the
Oh,
electric
that's
car
very true.
company.
It's very true.
I mean, they don't even make cars, and they're valued at 100 and
They have the truck
Or-
out now. That one's out.
it's coming out.
No, it's
not
out. It's
No,
out.
they've shipped 159.
Oh, okay. I see what
Hey,
you
that's something. It's out.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not in.
Valuation 140 billion, 159 cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
gnarly.
anyway,
That's
Yeah.
but there's a balance. And
Yeah.
you keep your sanity. You know, we've talked about this for
Yeah,
a
yeah.
couple of years. You just have a good time. You enjoy each other's company. You know, get a pretty girl and
Keep the love.
just enjoy and live your life.
Yeah.
You know, we were in a period where it was just everything was just hyper growth. We wanted to go nuts.
Gnarly.
We just wanted to go nuts. So I could go on and on.
How old were you again when you guys started really blowing up? I know you went in when it was $2 million, and then were you just seeing insane money years, like a year or two after that? Was it just kind of insane growth at that point?
We were growing pretty doggone fast. You know, a lot of that stuff's I don't want to say proprietary, but
Yeah.
I don't want to quote numbers or anything
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. But we were growing very fast. And, you know, year one, you're making $20. In year two, you're making $80
Yeah.
a year. And year three, you're making $160. And you're like, holy crap,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go buy a Tesla.
Yeah.
I really like Teslas. I want a Tesla. So, you know, you just,
Feel that. Yeah.
you got to feed the beast.
Yeah.
And then we'd all go buy our houses. And then you got to feed more beast. And then you have a kid and you got to more money. So
Yeah.
it's,
Money.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love money.
Yeah.
So it's, you know,
It's hard to get around that though, especially
But,
being around here, you know.
it's hard. Go
Cost of living.
live up in, you know, Corona Del Mar, Newport Beach.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, no way.
I have to say one thing that we've been good at. I mean, we're like any other entrepreneur group, but we're really good at just being poor. Like
We
we've
are.
been poor for so long,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I mean, I don't think money will. I can't say this now. I hope money doesn't
Yeah.
change us, but
Knock on wood.
like, I don't know. It's just interesting how we're just been
No.
okay with this, with just running
Well,
by like,
Dude, I was in the toilet business.
yeah.
I was, you know, I had a bumper sticker on the back of my car. It said, "Your shit's my bread and butter."
Wow.
And people like,
Wow.
what is that?
That's fucking
so
hilarious.
awesome.
Did you come up
That's
with that?
hilarious.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
awesome.
And people would say, "What does that mean?" And I go, "I'm in the
I'm
toilet
French."
business." Yeah.
I'm a plumber.
And so we didn't grow up with money, and all of a sudden we got money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
freaking making money,
Mhm.
and you make and I'll tell you, it's the weirdest saying. McKnight taught me this one. If you got $20, you tend to spend 40.
Yeah.
And you know, then you go buy a new car, and then
Yeah.
you go, your wife needs something or whatever, and your kid, and pretty soon you're nuts, like 40 grand a month. You're like, holy crap, I used to make 30 grand a year.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of thing creeps up on you, and it does.
Yeah.
And you will tend to go, and we've talked about that. You will tend to, you know, put it into hyperspace. So my advice to anyone out there, including you guys, has always been, just enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
You know, enjoy working with JJ, and don't get stressed out. And you know, there were a couple Christmas Eves where, you know, the summer line is sitting in the hallway with like 70 boxes, 80 boxes at 4:30 in the afternoon. All I want to do is go home to my wife and kids, and I got to deal with, you know, 70 boxes of samples that need to go out that night, and it's 4:30 in the afternoon, and they all need to go to Federal Express,
Yeah.
and everybody's left, and it's like,
Yeah.
So it's like, just enjoy your life. If
Yeah.
you don't go out until Monday morning, nobody's going to die.
Yeah.
So
Feel that.
you guys have been given a gift. You're doing incredibly well with that gift, and just kind of, grow, enjoy each other's company, enjoy the pretty girls, out in the front and all that stuff, and your wives and all that, and keep it in perspective.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know how we got down that road, but we're down that road.
No, that's
We're
good
there.
life advice.
Shots.
That's why
Everybody, shots.
Shots.
Well, let's dive into something specific, like either Quiksilver or Billabong or Hurley. Which one do you spend the most time at? Was that Billabong?
My passion was Quiksilver.
Okay.
I was a Quiksilver guy, dead serious.
He bled.
And that was with Bob McKnight and Bob Hurley?
No,
Or that was
No.
just McKnight?
Bob McKnight was Quiksilver, 100%.
Okay.
There was in Australia, there was tremendous competition between Quick and Billabong, and so
There was a big rivalry, huh?
there was no love lost at all between Quick and Billabong.
Quick was Bob McKnight's baby child from the U.S. and
Right.
Billabong was Australian.
No, I thought Quick started in
No,
Australia.
Quick
didn't it?
started in Torquay, Australia.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's what you said, but I was confused because I thought Bob McKnight started with Quiksilver.
In the U.S.
in the USA.
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
so he did the same thing that Bob Hurley did with Billabong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Both licensees.
That's what
One
we
was
did with
Quiksilver.
Seager in Finland.
Okay.
Do McKnight and Hurley hate each other?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't. I think
They
it's-
were exact rivals, right? They both did the exact same thing, brought it to the U.S., then went head to head.
They
true.
went head to head. McKnight had a $30 million start on Hurley, head start, but
Where did
they were head to head.
Where did
Hmm.
Bob McKnight have the money to have that 30 million head start? Because Quicksilver was bigger already, or what?
No, I think it grew to 30 before
Oh,
Billabong got
I
going.
see.
Right?
Cameras off. I will tell you, but not
On camera.
You can tell us later. You can tell us
tell us
later.
Selling drugs.
You can tell us later. We'll bleep it out.
what?
He was selling drugs, and that's how he got the money.
Huh?
Coke.
What?
Yeah,
I
that
knew
hurt.
it. I knew it.
No, I didn't.
I can neither confirm
What?
nor
I knew
deny.
it.
I
That's
didn't say that.
I knew
okay.
it.
No,
It's folklore.
That's okay.
no, it's
Cocaine.
money was never a problem.
Okay.
We brought a couple guys in from Pasadena that had plenty of resources.
Rich parents.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And no,
Cocaine,
Quiksilver.
rich parents.
Quicksilver. Gotcha was another company. That
Oh.
like,
Nice.
but
I used to have a poor brother.
yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
it's just
Wow.
and there's a million stories behind the scenes.
Yeah.
None of them will ever come to light through my lips.
Okay, I have a question. So you were at Billabong,
Mm-hmm.
and then you joined with Hurley, right?
Well, so
To start Hurley.
we
And-
we never left. We were Billabong,
You were Billabong,
and
but
then
Billabong decided. Hurley
Well-
said, "I don't want to do this anymore."
there was some conflict between Australia and the USA over women's.
He didn't want to sell women's.
Bob Hurley did not want to sell women's.
Is he
And,
sexist, or is it he just
He
didn't
would be
want it?
nowadays for sure.
I mean, we don't want to sell women's. We're not
I don't-
sexist.
Oh,
I'm not. I'm
We have a Nikki Lane hat.
We just
dog.
want to perfect
Ooh, look
men's.
at the time.
okay. Let's move past that. question.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's none of us wanted to sell. It was a different time,
Yeah.
so women's was not really something that a hardcore surf
yeah.
brand wanted to tackle
Okay.
at that time.
Yeah.
It's also hard to make women's clothing.
It's just different. We weren't. We could have flipped that switch, but we had the resources like crazy to flip that switch, but we were not willing to do it, and
That seems like a crazy thing to leave. You're like, I don't want to make $30 million or whatever they were doing in the U.S., and I'm just going to leave that and start my own brand with my own name.
It does
That's
seem like
crazy.
a really bold.
Yeah,
that's
move.
risky.
Why would you
Honestly, it
follow him?
worked out.
Is the real question.
Oh yeah, there you
say
go.
it again.
Why would you follow him in that exact situation that Mattson just brought up?
Well, I'm extremely loyal until I'm not. And then the day I'm not loyal, then I'll shoot you in the back of the head. But
good to know.
Yellowstone
I
style.
was very loyal. Half our team, oh golly, this would take so long to do, but I had all the sales reps,
Mm-hmm.
and I had 21 sales reps that had been with me for, I 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And wow. I don't even know if this is proprietary or not.
No
Who's
way.
going to see this?
Nobody watches
Just
this.
our moms. It's just our moms that watch this.
So, oh, golly.
Just yeah.
Yeah. So we decided that we were not going to do Billabong anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a meeting with, nobody's seeing this, right? No, serious.
Not many people watch this.
Well,
yet.
okay, no, we
Okay.
can't
No,
say
no.
that. We can't say
Yeah.
that. People will see this. So.
Okay, well, I'll just
Yeah.
leave it at that. There was meetings, and
Yeah.
we decided we were not going to
That's the-
do Billabong anymore.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Bob flew down to Australia, down to
Torty or
down to Angary, Australia, where Gordon, who was the
Yeah,
owner of
Gordon.
Billabong,
Mhm.
lived, and he flew to Sydney, took a plane up to Brisbane, drove down to Angary. At the meantime, I was tell Gordon, we're not going to renew the license.
Mm. I was doing some reading before, and I know that you had to let go people to start Hurley. You had to let go like 400 sales reps, right, or something like that.
No,
More or
No.
less?
no, we didn't let anyone go.
You
The
just told
idea
them
was,
at
yeah, there's so much stuff here. So I had 21 sales reps, and I had a bunch of sub reps. So I had about 63 people that were repping our company.
right.
So I took all those people, went down to the Balboa Bay Club, and told them what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
While simultaneously, Bob was in Australia to the hour, talking to Gordon, saying we're not going to renew the license.
Okay.
And when Gordon had that message, and I told the sales reps were crying, and there were sales reps making an enormous amount of money, and they were crying, and one guy got sick, and a couple guys fell on the floor, and it was
That's dramatic.
it was gnarly.
yeah, fell on the floor is pretty gnarly.
So that went on, and then about some period of time later, I walked in the office and Gordon's going to do Billabong, and then Billabong did its boogie and got it together, and then we were moving forward with Hurley.
Mm-hmm.
And one morning I walked in, 10 o'clock, FedEx comes, and I got 15 FedEx packages from all my friends, but sales reps, and they said we quit. So my whole sales team
Wow.
quit, except for like 5 guys.
Wow.
So that was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
I got angry, and within 24 hours, I hired brand new sales reps. And what I tried to do was go right after all my sales reps,
Oh,
their best friends,
damn.
their
'Cause you're angry.
girlfriends.
That's the shoot in the back of the head. That's the pivot.
Oh, there we go.
yeah.
Damn.
I follow. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah, it
obviously a lot. That's a lot. Like you said, fell on the floor. There's obviously a
Yeah,
lot.
that sounds traumatic to even
That
watch
sounds-
that.
There were a lot of guys that were making
Yeah.
a lot of money,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they did not like the idea of starting from scratch.
Yeah.
And Hurley we had started from scratch.
Totally.
So it was a tough time.
Yeah.
My point is friendship, loyalty, enjoy the ride. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
that was 25 years ago, almost 20 years ago. And the last 20 years has gone by like a rifle blast. So fast, it's not even funny. And I think back, and I had a career in surf, 35 years in the surf business. And we used to own Newport Surf and Sport in Newport.
Mm-hmm.
And that came and went, worked at Surfing Magazine, on and on and on. So it goes by quick.
Yeah.
And that's why I say enjoy yourself, enjoy the ride,
Yeah.
load the car full of Coors Lights and take that road trip and sit around that fire and ride those horses and
Yeah.
just enjoy the hell out of what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Well,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
But
definitely.
long story short, for the Hurley thing, it ended up being a success. So
It-
technically, if the sales reps would have stayed, they would have profited from it. So
Indeed.
it's not your fault.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was my fault. There were a lot of things going on. There were a lot of politics behind the scenes that we haven't talked about, that were I'm not going to talk about,
Yeah.
that were going on. So it wasn't anyone's fault necessarily. It was all of our fault.
Yeah.
It was our designer, JJ's boss, on and on and on.
Mm-hmm. Taking a quick pause here to say thank you to our sponsor, Palmetto.com. Palmetto is a home solar energy company that is putting solar panels on people's houses to save them tons of money on their utility bills. Elliott, you are personally one of those people saving, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, I was looking on the market for a couple months, and I stumbled upon Palmetto.com, and took one step after another, and now I'm saving an average of $79 a month on my utility bills.
Are you really?
Yes,
That's
I
actually
am.
insane.
It is insane,
Wow.
and I'm stoking out my wife.
Yeah, I mean, you're keeping her warm.
Keeping her warm, keeping the pool warm, keeping the dog warm, keeping the iguanas warm. I'm keeping everything warm.
Wow.
Affordable, renewable energy is a win-win. So start saving the planet and your bank account today at Palmetto.
We go on a ton of trips, do we not?
We most definitely do.
And we need caffeine, do we not?
We most definitely do.
We need caffeine because we drive through the hours of the night, do we not?
We definitely do.
Well, there's one caffeine drink that I will drink, and it's Sailaway Nitro Cold Brews. It is definitely the smoothest cold brew I've ever had.
100%. They have a multitude of flavors ranging from classic black to horchata to a hint of sweet. It is insane.
And you love horchata.
I mean, who doesn't love cinnamon?
Oh, man. Well, you go check out SailawayCoffee.com to find out where you can pick up some near you.
That's wild. So I didn't know there was any history with JJ and yourself. I didn't know that because he was.
JJ's a great
Volcom.
guy.
I thought he was at Volcom the whole.
He was
time.
for 18 years, 17 years,
But
probably.
before
Didn't he start
that,
at Hurley?
Insane.
Oh, he started at. Hurley.
He started at Billabong.
Oh,
Oh,
Billabong.
he did. I did not know that. Or
Yeah,
maybe I did.
he
but-
was he came in as a helper.
Grom.
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
kid.
Grom.
Yeah,
He was a little kid, but we had the design team. Leanne headed the design team, and she had 4 or 5 minions under her, and they were all good kids and did a great job and all that kind of stuff. So
What a full circle that JJ's here. I didn't know that. I thought you guys were going to meet for the first time, but
No, they were technically at the last
at
Christmas
the
party.
banquet.
Oh, yeah,
the
that's right.
banquet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
But it was, but I saw him. It was like JJ, and design and sales are kind of butting
Yeah.
heads
yeah,
because I want green and they want to make blue, and I want more and they want less. So, there's always a dynamic
Yeah,
tension
definitely.
between sales and finance, between sales and design. Why don't you make the red ones? I need long pants, not short pants. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
it's-
Yeah. Funny when people bring that up because, like JJ, legend in the industry, you, legend in the industry, JM, our sales rep, legend in the industry, and they all bring these things to attention, which I feel like we wouldn't know until like 5 or 10 years from now.
yeah.
So now I feel like it's in the top of my head when you're like, oh, sales headbutts with design. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I could see how that would happen, but I wouldn't know that until later on,
Yeah,
unless
we-
it was told to me.
You have to learn from your forefathers.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here.
That's
with
why
you.
we bring our
Mentor.
forefathers here.
Mentor Mike.
Mentor
That's
Mike.
that's originally why we became friends, because someone set us up with you and said that you've been in
Yeah.
the industry and let's talk.
Yeah.
yeah, well, we were going to do a company to help new companies begin their.
Why create?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
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 that was
Yeah.
going to be cool.
yeah. A lot of money went into that.
I know. I remember that.
Didn't my guys could not pull it together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a great
Yeah.
idea. I still get guys all the time ask me, "What happened to Why Create? That was the best idea." Ah.
It was a good idea.
Yeah. It was.
I mean, you've told us things since when we started 2015. You told us things that have stuck with us till this day. So there's a lot of stuff that we reference or refer back to, just things that you like helped us get through in the very beginning.
Good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I love helping.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
good lessons.
I love helping. I'm not good at giving speeches or, I've stood in front of 10,000 people and looked out into the crowd and just kind of go,
Where at? Where was that at? Like
San
Madison
Diego
Square Garden?
shows.
I've
San
seen
Diego.
I've
Oh,
seen
like
you.
122
I've
one?
seen you at USD. You did remember that?
Oh yeah, we came to that.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't 30,000 though.
No, that was
more
like-
Oh, no,
30.
no,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
100, or no,
Yeah, yeah.
50.
Yeah.
All kids in
Yeah,
suits.
I'm not good at just freestyling. I'm way better. Ask me a question and I'll tell you what I know. But just to
I feel that.
just to freelance.
What do you know about blue-footed booby birds?
I love them.
Yeah, those
Hell
are
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They-
yeah.
They're awesome.
They're beautiful. They
Yeah.
generally have one chick, maybe two.
You knew a lot.
I know. Wow.
I'm
You
an
knew
animal
that, didn't you? Are you really?
Yeah, big
What's
time.
your number one animal?
Dogs.
I've
Oh,
seen
really?
your Facebook.
What's
Yeah.
your?
Are we friends on Facebook?
Yeah, we're
Whoa,
friends on
dude.
Facebook.
You know,
And you post a lot about dogs.
all my friends hate me now. They're like, Lesher, quit. quit all the dogs. And I'm
What's
like,
the best?
Hey,
dog?
that's great. Adopting dogs is a great thing.
That's a great thing.
I'll tell you,
Adopt
just
dogs.
flat out. Here's my mantra: adopt this dog, or he'll be dead on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
yeah.
what it is.
That's it. That's the mantra.
Yeah,
Just repeat.
all the dogs I post are rescue dogs,
Yeah.
and it's like, I know that I've got a bunch of people that I work with them. This dog will be dead on Monday if you don't adopt it.
So you're posting
Adopt a
photos.
dog.
.com.
He's
posting
like
photos?
reposting.
Oh, you're
I'm
reposting
reposting,
and
yeah.
saying
A
take this
bunch
dog.
of I work with about 20 shelters. I don't work with them, but
Oh,
I
wow.
support about 20 shelters.
Wow.
Everything from golden retrievers to Great Pyrenees to
Like
pit
little-
bulls, on and on and on.
Wow. That's
So
awesome.
I advocate.
Yeah. So if I were looking for a dog, and I told you a species,
Hmm.
you could find that for me.
I don't know that I could find it, but if it's available in the United States, I could probably get pretty close.
Wow.
That's the thing
That's
about
close.
rescuing, though. You can't really pick the species.
Well,
I
you
know, but if he
can.
has a network
Yeah.
of,
That's true.
he's
You-
Mr. Dog.
That's true.
Well, you just the idea is, does the dog need you or do you need the dog? And every single time, I place probably about 50 dogs a year, not very many for compared to what I post. I post sometimes 25 a day,
Wow.
but excuse me.
All right.
But the idea is, I love dogs. I love animals too.
Yeah.
When I was in college, I wanted to be a veterinarian. Till the first time I stuck my arm all the way up to my shoulder up a cow's
Oh my God.
vagina.
Wow.
Oh yeah, all
What
the
a
way up.
magical moment. Wow.
It was
A birthing. That's, I mean,
That is special.
I
Yeah.
proposed and she wasn't interested. But
Did you take her out to dinner before you did that?
Yeah.
no, after
Gotcha.
had some wine.
Yeah.
Gotta take that cocaine, half the
So
fist first.
yeah, the industry is good. You guys are in a wonderful position. You've made it through. We talked about this right off the bat. Look at it as a hobby,
Yeah.
not as a career yet.
Yeah.
When you get to a certain size where you guys can actually pull $5, $10, $20, $30, $50,000 a year out of the company, then it will become real. And then keep it that way. Just keep it that way.
Yeah.
The only guy I've ever known in this industry that's started, taken it to the top, and then carried it out was Sean Stussy at Stussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just maintained his self composure. He made some money. He sold some of his stuff. He just never went nuts. He always kept a lid on it, and that's the only guy I've ever known. Every other company has just tried to blow it out, just get it as big as can, sell it to, the Japanese or the Chinese or whatever, and it's just, I don't know, it's short-sighted.
Yeah.
It was a hobby for a while. Like, we weren't making any money ourselves, or we didn't even have employees for
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, it still is. It's a hobby. It still is fun. We get to do trips all the time, but it is real work, and we have people
Yeah.
working.
And this
And
warehouse, this office
gets
alone
tougher.
feels so legit.
We all
Compared to-
did.
We're not in an office.
We're in
No,
a
not
cabin.
the
We're in
one
a
that
cabin.
we're
We're in
in.
a cabin.
No, we're in the cabin now, but I'm saying where we were earlier before we drove
right.
out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The new office.
Drove
We
2
all
hours
did
to
it.
get here.
We all did it. When we started Quick, it was the same thing. We'd all come over on Friday afternoon and we'd all ship. We'd all, at Billabong, a load of stuff would come in. Typically, Quiksilver and Billabong got all our finished product from Australia. So you'd get a big shipment of 50,000, whatever, assorted everything. And we'd come over and we'd stock the shelves. We'd get it, and then we'd pick tickets, and we'd go out and fill the orders, and we all did it.
Yeah.
It's the way it works. You can't necessarily pay people for that. You're not making enough money to support that kind of.
Do you remember your David Hasselhoff story that you told us?
I don't even know if I
Maybe.
remember that one.
You don't remember it?
Oh, he wanted
This
our
was
product.
a game changer
From the
for us.
coffee shop?
No,
Well,
he wanted our product.
He wanted your product.
Big
And,
time.
yeah, when we were in year 1 or year 2,
Yeah.
swell.com hit us up.
Yeah.
And we thought Swell was, or 2 of us thought Swell was super sick. I think Mattson and I were really stoked, and we are just like, Swell, they're huge. That's awesome. And you working at Thalia with Nick, we're like,
Yeah.
no, we can't do
I remember
Swell.
I brought it up to Nick, and
And
he
we're
was
like, let's
so
call
pumped.
Mike. Let's call Mike and see what he
Yeah.
says. And then you told the David Hasselhoff story, and you said Swell is your David Hasselhoff.
Wow.
I can't
Yeah.
believe. I mean, I don't know.
That was a game changer.
I don't know David Hasselhoff's career that well, to be honest. I don't know if that's bad or not, but
I
wasn't he
mean,
not?
SpongeBob wrote on his chest.
He's big
Was he
time.
not? I mean, he was big time, but was he kooky back in the day? I
Well,
thought
what,
he was.
what was
cool.
your story with David
Big
Hasselhoff?
time.
Not like
Let's
Burt
hear
Reynolds
that
kind of
because
thing?
Big time.
that'll connect it.
Well, I have many of those, but he wanted our stuff. So his people called him or called us, ended up on my phone and said, "We want your stuff." And I said, "Okay." You know, we have it down at Newport Surf and Sport and on and on and on. And they said, "Well, we would like to get some red ones and whatever." And I said, "It's not going to happen. It's just not
They're
going
like,
to happen."
what? What was your reason? What did you tell them?
You know, everything that we've kind of just been talking about. There's ways to promote your product,
Yeah.
and there's the marketing that goes on. You spend money and time and everything making sure that what the public sees is so perfect
Yeah.
for your image and what you want, that you can't have someone. Well, whoever wants to get it is going to get it, but you're not going to go out of your way to give somebody like David Hasselhoff or, you know, we had, oh golly,
What is
Blink.
the funniest
Blink
one?
was one thing,
But that makes sense.
yeah, and so did Pennywise and
What
and
other names
Unwritten Law.
didn't make sense? What were other David Hasselhoffs that reached out? That you remember?
The guy from, oh golly, what was that guy? The band, hardcore band,
Beastie Boys.
Dimebag Daryl.
What? Can we look
What?
that up?
Dimebag
Daryl.
Daryl. That's
Pantera.
That sounds
He was in the
sick.
band Pantera.
Oh, Pantera. What's the Dimebag then? Is that the song?
That was his nickname.
Oh, wow.
holy
wow.
crap.
Oh,
That
yeah.
guy shreds.
Yeah,
That
he
guy-
does.
The wristbands.
But that's-
Wow.
but also
Dimebag
Hulk
Daryl.
Hogan
Hulk Hogan.
was another guy that
And you
wanted.
said no?
And
I mean, yeah.
He was the man back in the day.
Oh.
That's the lesson. That's the
Come
lesson.
on.
yeah,
You need another
Come
beer?
on.
That's the big lesson, though.
I'll take one.
Hulk Hogan?
You don't
And,
need the Hulk Hogans. You don't need the David Hasselhoffs.
I get Dimebag
I can
Daryl.
keep going. Bob Dylan came into our
What?
office.
You said no to Bob Dylan? Come on. Bob Dylan? This one's mine.
What's the guy's
Bob Dylan.
That was
ZZ Top?
that might be the duck one.
So
You said
Top
no to
came in.
ZZ Top?
He sat at my desk. I have the key ring.
And you said no?
Dude, I have the key ring, the ZZ key ring.
Why? He gave you that and you said no still?
No, we sold him stuff.
You sold it to him? What is this? Oh,
Like,
the-
there's
So,
like duck feathers on
I
it.
was listening to a podcast the other day, and I heard your name come up, and something else was said that I could go into detail. Oh, it was what was the name of the pod? Oh, Late Night. It was Late Night. Late Night
Yeah.
with Chalky.
Yep.
which
Great
is
podcast.
Lyndon
Look them up.
and Jay. Lyndon and Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, great podcast.
Yeah.
They had us
Yeah.
on like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They do all
and
of the,
this
like,
guy named the Chief.
surf industry stuff.
The Chief.
I know
Go
one
Chief.
I know one chief.
What's his name?
The chief, Mr. Richards, but I don't know that that's
David
the chief
Delano.
you're referring
It was the
to.
Chief. He was also called Go-Go or Mr. Go-Go or something like that. Go-Go Chief. He said that when you left Quiksilver, you brought him to Billabong.
Oh, man. Wow.
But I was going to say something else before I got into that. He said that someone put Billabong on the Beastie Boys, and someone got fired because of that.
Oh, wow.
Because nobody wanted it on the Beastie Boys. Which I was like,
They
what?
were cool
They're
too.
massive.
The
Yeah.
Beastie Boys were unreal. I
Yeah.
don't know that I know anything about that. I don't believe that's true, but I wasn't, I was a sales guy. I wasn't the marketing
I
promo
know.
guy.
Yeah.
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 I did have some knowledge of who we were working with. When the guys from Offspring walked through, I was like, oh, yeah, ooh, and on and on and on.
You hearing a buzzing?
Yeah, is it the fridge?
No.
What's that buzzing? I think it's the fridge.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
There it
Oh,
goes.
wow.
I don't think that's true with the Beastie Boys. We were all pretty
Interesting.
stoked with their
Yeah, I bet.
music.
Yeah,
But
they're
the
sick.
Chief.
I don't know who that is.
The Chief. They called him the Chief. That's
You
all I
said you knew
remember.
one chief, didn't
They
you?
also said
Oh, well,
Go-Go.
I don't know who.
He said
I
he was
love
di-
the Go-Go.
He said he was dyslexic. He was a team manager
Oh, you
at
know
Hurley. Yeah, I mean, I listened to a whole podcast about
Wow.
him, 2 hours long.
Oh, it's all about him.
Yeah, it was all about him. He was the team manager at Quiksilver or Billabong at the very beginning, and then he ended up putting on the U.S. Open, like the big U.S. Opens back in the day.
I don't think that's true,
The Chief.
but I don't know.
I wish I knew his name.
Yeah. The chief I know was Mr. Richards, Mark Richards' father, the guy that started Val Surf. Great guy. Mr. Richards, the guy, was the CEO at Capitol Records back in.
Wait, his
Long
dad
time
was that was his dad, you're saying?
Yeah,
That's
Mark Richards'
crazy.
father is
did
the
not know
chief.
that.
He is the chief.
Eli, look up Late Night with Chalky.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
L.
I'm not saying it's not
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just
I just don't know. Yeah, that's wild.
Well, we can get his name right here.
That's wild.
Late Night with Chalky podcast. It's-
CHOCCY.
Yeah, yeah. Wild though. I mean, I'm sure in its
there we go.
heyday.
It's like it'll be like one of the top 3.
It's a surf podcast about like people in the industry and stuff, just so everyone knows.
Oh.
Wait, can you?
There you go.
There it
Paul
is.
Gomez.
It's right there.
Oh, Paul Gomez.
Paul Gomez.
oh.
Do you know Paul Gomez?
At age 14.
Ooh. Yeah, he was our team manager. He
Okay.
was a pretty gnarly guy. Chief. Well, he's Hispanic, but he came across as an Indian. So some
I got
people
that, yeah.
called him the chief because he
Gotcha.
like a
Sounds
chief
like
of a
JJ.
Yeah, of a tribe.
of a tribe or something.
All right.
So it was a
All right.
He said he's the reason why he went from one company to the other. He followed you, or you're
Paul
the reason
did.
why. Yeah.
yeah. And
Interesting.
Paul is a great guy. I haven't seen him.
There's a
much
lot of
lately.
Paul Gomez's out there
Yeah.
in the world.
He ran a great team. He's the guy that pulled in all the bands that we used to run around with, and golly, we got into some great shows and met some really, really good Michael Mann from.
I heard back in the day that there was just drugs rampant in those surf companies, the early surf companies. Like just partying, drugs, sex, rock and roll, everything was just like
What?
I think that was just the decade, though.
I think
no. It was
No,
it was
in
him. Look at
surf.
Mike right
Yeah.
now. He's
What?
yeah. Look at
Can
him.
neither confirm nor deny.
No, he's ready to tell us some stories.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Let's have another beer.
I've
Let's
got
talk about
way
that.
too many stories. I've seen things, man.
What happened in Vegas?
Oh, Vegas was
Oh,
nothing.
no.
I want to hear more about that water park. I remember you telling us about you rented out a water
Oh.
park. I would love to hear more about
ran
that. Were
down?
there like videos or photo of that going
Rented.
down?
No, everybody was in the water. Nobody wanted to sit
Oh.
on the beach and film.
Can we hear
so
more about
I,
this
I
one?
met the guys at Disney back in Orlando. So we'd go to the trade shows. Oh, dude. Oh, my golly. So this is the stuff you guys, cement your future and cement your company's image with this kind of stuff.
Oh
I
man.
met the guys at Disney.
Right.
Somehow they came to the trade show and I worked with them and this and that and the other thing. And pretty soon I said, I would like to rent your water park, Typhoon Lagoon, 60-acre water park. And I would like to bring a bunch of people in and go surfing.
That sounds so expensive. Go surfing. Oh, they
Go
have a little
surfing.
wave pool thing
Oh,
there.
they have a great wave pool.
Is that one of those ones like a cruise ship where it
Turtle.
just sprays
No,
water?
it's, oh, golly.
Or what's that?
Oh,
What's that one movie? Is it in Arizona? What's that one movie?
Oh,
Um,
North Shore?
yeah, the North Shore.
Oh,
North
gosh.
Shore, North Shore.
That was a movie.
Yeah.
So anyway, they took me over to the wave pool, and I toured the whole thing. 60-acre park, big lazy river around the whole thing.
Eli, can you look that up?
Wait,
Yeah,
Typhoon
probably
Lagoon.
A visual would help for sure.
So Typhoon Lagoon, big wave, lazy river,
Yeah.
a big giant glacier that you go down in a raft, swim with the sharks, and a wave pool in the middle.
Is this in like China? Where is this?
No, it's in Orlando, Florida.
Oh,
Oh,
that looks like the one from. Is that the one
China.
Taj surfed at?
Yeah.
Fair-
Everybody surfed there.
Oh, yeah.
We took everybody
Got
there.
it. Got it. Okay.
So we got in there for
Wow.
about 6 years.
Wow,
I'd rent the whole park.
that's got to be so.
That's insane.
No, it wasn't that bad.
What is not that bad though?
1,500 a session, so $3,000 a day
Wait, but the
times
whole
4
park-
days, $12,000. I put in my budget.
Wait, but the whole park.
The park's 60 acres,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
and
how much
nobody
does that cost?
went down the lazy river. Everybody was at the wave pool
Yeah.
surfing.
Did you rent out the whole park?
Yep. So then we had a couple parties there, and we had 15,000 people. Everybody in board shorts and bikinis, lazy
Sounds
river.
So fun.
No drunk people. I was coming down. One story. I'll never tell you another story. Period. End of sentence. Speaking about the chief. You said the chief, and I just remembered this. I was floating down. The party was raging, beer everywhere. I got Budweiser to co-sponsor 120 kegs of beer.
Wow.
Blah, blah, blah. Pulled all this together. It was all moving, grooving. Everything was great. So I was done.
Yeah.
And I got in the inner tube, and I said, I'm floating around the damn lazy river.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, I'm just going to enjoy. So
Yeah.
I got a cold beer and jumped to the river. Gomez, the chief, saw me coming, and he's standing on the bridge, like a pathway bridge over the top,
He's gonna pee
and
on you.
and he peed on me.
knew it.
No way.
No way.
And I'm in the water, and I realized what's going on, and I went, ugh, my wife
Yeah.
better not ever see this. So
Yeah.
we went back. The night finished. We went back, and I took a dump on his pillow
That's so awesome.
Epic.
and put his
That's pink eye
very
right
careful. Oh,
Wait, did you put it on top of the pillow or in the pillow?
Epic.
Pooped on the pillow, put the cover back on the pillow, so he put his head.
Oh,
No
right onto your
way.
shit. Wow.
Did you tell him in the morning, or he just smelt it instantly?
Instantly, bro.
Well, he
Shit
knew.
in
He's
your
drunk,
face.
drinking
And then the
at
next
Lazy
night-
River all night.
The next night, he
That's so
shook a
gnarly.
beer and douched me with the beer.
Wow.
So I had the flu,
Oh
really
my
bad
God.
flu. So he got up and ran out of the room because he knew I was going to jump him and
Yeah, yeah.
kick his ass. So I grabbed his beer, and there was like that much beer left, and I went,
Oh, and just hocked a
Oh.
I brought
Oh
up
my
about
God.
half a quart of lung cheese,
Oh my
and I took his
God.
beer and I just went,
I can't believe you pooped on his pillow.
and I put a plug in the top of his beer, and he came back in, and he was sitting down there, and he picked it. Everybody saw me do it. Everybody knew, and there were like 20 people sitting at the table.
Oh, no one
And
said
he
a
picked
word.
up the beer, and he chugged it.
No.
So gnarly.
War.
That's so gnarly.
That's war right there.
That's war for
That
sure.
was war.
That's
That
a
was war.
Damn.
Eli's gonna
And
gag.
he knew he had a half a quart of lung cheese.
Oh my
And it was just-
God.
it was
Oh,
on.
Jeez.
From
I'm
that point, it
surprised
was
that
on.
he was doing that stuff back to you. Were you guys like close friends?
I mean, he started
At the
he
time,
peed
we
on
were
it.
very good friends.
Okay.
We were good
Yeah.
friends in a
I've never been
competitive
peed
way.
Yeah.
You just poop on your friends' pillows.
I know. What made you
Yeah.
think poop right away? Was that your first thought?
Gnarly.
Did you have other like?
No,
oh,
it was
I should do
actually
that?
my
Yeah.
third thought.
I'm gonna
Were they-
poop on your pillow, dude.
Yeah.
That would start
Wow.
so much shit with us. If we pooped or peed on each other, we'd be so pissed.
I could just see your face.
I could imagine
Oh my
peeing like
God.
at a water park. Everyone's peeing. You know
I
what
would
mean?
I would come out swinging with someone pooping
You
on
would
my
get-
pillow.
Yeah, you would get so mad.
I would get so mad.
It was on.
Everyone would get so mad.
Yeah.
Poop on a pillow?
I don't know who would take that the best, to be honest.
I mean, it's a hotel pillow, so it's like just put that
Oh
somewhere else.
yeah, you were worried about
Oh,
the
that's
ownership
rough.
of the pillow.
Kind of. If you pooped on my personal pillow, I'd be really pissed.
Yeah, but a pillow
That's
is
true.
replaceable, man.
That is true.
Not the side of your head.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
really.
the side of your head's gone.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm dumb
In
enough to
your
put my
eyes.
head on that,
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't see it. It's in the
you
teeth.
can't smell that. I mean,
Not-
what the?
no.
No.
You drinking all night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah.
Just
Yeah, that's
smack
what I was
your
saying. You
face on
find
it,
out in the
jump on
morning you slept on poop all night.
it. Yeah, that's wild.
Oh no, I don't know. I think he probably jumped right up and dealt with it.
Yeah, you probably
But
smelled
it was
Did you do pranks often? That sounds like if you're doing.
we did a
straight to
lot of
shitting-
pranks.
Yeah.
We're not going to get
Okay,
into it
okay.
because they were
That's
they were
wild.
gnarly.
I mean, if that's the only one we're hearing.
Oh, no.
Illegal pranks?
Pardon me?
Illegal?
I'd have to think about that.
What about
Probably.
HR? Did you guys have a good HR, or was it just kind of you guys running it?
We were tight as a company. I won't say things didn't slide through the cracks, but we had a guy named Mike Oxner that ran finance. Excuse me. And he was a good man, and he was straight as an arrow. And he didn't keep us. We were all straight. We were all good kids.
Yeah.
But we would tend to push the edge of the envelope, and we would get ourselves in situations that were hard to get out of without someone losing their life. So we would push pretty hard.
That sounds dangerous.
It was.
We use words. We just trash talk. We've all
Yeah.
been friends for so long.
Yeah.
We just you can't not trash talk at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just keep it
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It got I don't talk to Bob Hurley anymore. I haven't talked to him in 18 years. I haven't talked to Gomez in years. The other members of the team I do talk to. And I wish that were not the case. I wish I was still friends with the guys because, I see McKnight and it's always great. And I see Holbrook and Jeff Seabeck and Danny Kwok. Danny was part of Volcom, did a big deal with Volcom. He was one of the owners of Volcom. And when they went public, he did fine. I'm friends with everybody in the industry, but we don't, a few of those guys we're not close anymore, and that makes me sad. Just like high school.
Yeah.
The guys you were close with in high school, you probably don't see anymore, and it was a different time.
Yeah.
Well, what are you able to share of kind of why you're not close to Bob Hurley or anybody like that? Just didn't end, right?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
There you have it.
You say there you have it.
There you have it.
There you have it.
I feel that.
Just didn't end right.
I mean, if you're friends for that
Straight up.
long, losing a friend is hard.
It is hard.
Yeah.
And it was our life.
Yeah.
Well, if you put it into perspective of like high school, that makes it so much easier to think about because there's a lot of people that, you probably just had like falling outs with or don't see anymore. And then you put it into our perspective where we're like, damn, you're not friends with Bob Hurley anymore? Why not?
Yeah.
It's like, well, because we got in an argument and it's over, it's simple.
Yeah.
If you put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, high school, it was a special time, and you were special things, and the special girl and the special friends and the adventures you went on, and then you get out and you get a job and you get a wife and you whatever, and then everything changes.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like that.
Yeah.
The industry was like that. Quick was like that. We started and we were just a bunch of virgins, and it was just great. We just built things and sold things and collected money and everything.
Yeah, it was
and
pure.
It was pure.
Yeah.
And the same thing started with Billabong and etc.
Mm-hmm.
And
That must have been nice when you started at Hurley to start fresh, to almost go back to the roots a little bit, right? I mean,
well, it was a little different with Hurley because it was like that with Billabong. It was like that with Quick. JJ and I were talking about it. It was like that at Volcom. But Hurley, we started off with 160 employees.
oh wow,
Damn.
Never mind. That is like a full tree.
Yeah,
right there.
it was just testicles to the wall
Yeah.
from the minute we got going.
What does that even mean?
That's a great-
Testicles to the wall.
Balls to the wall.
Oh wow. Somehow that just did not register.
Didn't come across.
Yeah, not at all.
I
Okay.
didn't get it either. Actually.
Yeah, did
I'm
you
gonna,
not?
I'm gonna make
Oh.
a note of that.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
just
yeah.
to-
Close to the wall. It just sounds more like.
It sounds like it means something
Sounds
very
like it hurts.
specific.
Sounds like
Yeah, it sounds like you're actually like putting your testicles on a wall.
I thought it just meant like it was
Well,
an
what-
all male
what is-
labor force.
Okay.
That's
you-
what I went for.
if you bring that up, like, what does balls to the wall even mean? Like, actually.
It
I
means
know.
it just
To the window.
hardcore. Ah.
Yeah, I know, but like, why?
But where did that stem
Why?
from? We could Google that in 2 seconds, Eli. We all want to know that.
Balls to the wall.
Balls to the wall.
But yeah, so it's a wonderful time. You guys just are in the catbird
Yeah.
seat right now. You just do what you do, keep it pure.
Yeah.
And we're slow growth model.
Yeah, we've been happy with that. And honestly, this will be good for even the rest of our employees when they listen to this, to just keep that in mind too. And we try and always bring that same energy. We eat lunch all together, which we know won't last forever, but we got balls to the wall.
It
Balls
comes
in
from
the air.
it comes from a naval aviation thing.
What?
Oh,
Eli, you want to read something?
Yeah, let's hear a little bit here.
Department of Homeland Security.
balls to the wall. Huh?
See.
I mean, the first page of the Google thing had a pretty good.
It says the expression is first found in military aviation sources that date from the Vietnam War. It was recorded in the slang of U.S. Air Force Academy cadets in 1969.
That's core as fuck.
Huh. Doesn't make sense, but
I don't even know
Cool.
where it
No,
got
the
it,
first
though.
page of Google had something. I was reading it.
Oh, it's a parallel. It's like balls out.
There we go.
That doesn't help either. We got to get to the bottom of this. man.
Wait, that first sentence right there. Can you read that?
First attested in the 1960s in the context of aviation, probably coined by pilots whose throttle levers had round ball-like tops, and for whom
Oh,
putting the balls to the wall.
It's like going like this.
Yeah, you're going
The
full
firewall
force.
of the aircraft
Yeah.
meant making the aircraft fly. So quickly.
Pedal to the
Now
metal.
everyone
Well,
knows.
it's not
Full
necessarily
force.
testicles at all.
No.
No.
So
No.
you should.
So
But it's more
it's
fun to
balls to
think
the
it that
wall
way
only.
for sure.
Pedal to the metal.
yeah.
Pedal to the metal.
It's
I know
like
what that means.
Balls to the
it's
metal.
like the aviation
pedal.
version of pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Balls to the wall.
Well, we all learned a little bit
Yeah, we
today. That's
did.
great.
This
We
is
did.
good. This is good.
That
You
is
guys
good.
want a hug? I'd like that.
Yeah.
I gotta
like a
say, I'm
fucking-
having fun.
Yeah.
I'm having fun right now.
I am too.
Yeah.
I'm not
Couple
scared
of my best
anymore.
friends, our mentor since
Ooh.
day
I
one.
know.
We're having
It's been a
fun.
long time.
This is fun.
I'm glad we can
like
do
this.
We'll
this.
turn all these mics off and give me about 7 hours, and I'll tell you some amazing stories. Don't let my wife see that.
Well, we
Well,
still have
okay.
time, so let's crack open a few stories while we're still talking.
Oh,
huh?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
That's-
So how did you get out of the surf industry, by the way? Because I know you went into aviation actually at some point, right? Aerospace.
Yeah.
How did you get out of the surf industry?
How did
Where
I get
you
out
go?
of the surf industry? It was, how did I get out? At 48, I left Hurley, and that was kind of it. I was pretty crispy, at
Yeah.
35. I started working at Val Surf when I was 16 while I was selling toilets, but I started working at Val Surf, and so I'd been in surf for 40 years, 35 years,
Wow.
38 years.
Yeah.
So I was a little disillusioned, a little crispy. I was sad that, I wasn't at Quick anymore, and then I actually thought of doing my own company when I left Quick. After a couple months of Billabong, I was like, you know what, I want to just do. If this company can do this, I think I could do it too. Rallied some people, and then I started thinking about it, and I was like, I don't.
What would you have named it?
Why create?
No, don't say anything. dude.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'd gone there. I mean, at that point, names were.
Well, what would you name it if you
Today?
Yeah, I mean, no. Like, what would you name it? I don't know. Today, then, whatever.
Don't know. I mean, when we did Hurley, we all came up with probably 400, 500 names. I thought there were better names than Hurley.
Yeah, it sounds a little.
I was gonna say, how weird is that? That'd be like if we
It's
named
like
this
narcissist.
Shaw or Smith or Anderson.
Is Bob
Well-
Hurley a narcissist?
Yeah, so look at the time.
Yeah, that's when we know yes.
Has to be.
It's like code for yes.
Come on.
I'm
I mean,
Or it's old school.
Everyone's thinking it.
A lot of old construction companies name it after your last name. Could just be an old
That's a
school
different
mentality.
deal.
That's a different deal.
Those are manly men.
Yeah, and this is a creative
So
industry.
Bob Hurley is not manly.
Oh, look at that time.
That's
Oh my
a
God.
yes again.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing these.
Please do not watch this, Bob Hurley.
I mean, it's like he's like starting a band with his own name. He's like the lead singer.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
pretty fucking gnarly.
Yeah, that's
Van
narcissist.
gnarly.
Halen.
Yeah.
But that worked
The
for
lead
Van Halen.
singer.
Yeah,
I mean,
technically
did.
it worked for Hurley too. That's the tough
No,
part.
it did.
Yeah,
It worked.
definitely did.
Yeah.
As pissy as I was, am, whatever, it all worked. As scared as we all were, and there was Hurley at the top, and there was Hurley and a girl named Leanne at the top, and then there were the 5 guys that kind of got it done: Gomez, Lesher, Joe Kernenshield, Mike Oxner, that got it done, and we were all just like, we were all making bank, and
You didn't want it to end.
well, let's just put it this way. When a lot of stuff ended, I went into our local Mercedes dealer and I said, hey, so this S550 I got sitting out in the parking lot right now, I'm not making that kind of money anymore. I'd like to bring it back. And the guy said, well, stuff it up your rear end. You're going to, keep paying on the car, or we'll come after you and get you. So it was like, yeah, you're making, you don't even realize it.
Yeah,
It's like a drug. It's like heroin.
yeah.
The
Just keep
first
spending.
one's free and it's all good and everybody's having a good time, and then 6 months down the road you're addicted and you're freaking strung out. And, but it's like that with when you start growing and lose your perspective. You start growing and you forget about the things that are important because you're so busy trying to make that month and trying to make that thing.
Yeah,
And
People are relying on you.
yeah, we
Yeah.
had altogether, I don't know, we had probably, when we launched Hurley, we probably had 160, 200 people all counting on us, all counting on
Yeah.
Leanne in design and Gomez, the chief, in marketing. And, we all had to pull our weight, and it got real quick.
Damn.
gnarly. Yeah, I mean that seems to be the fuel behind it. Is you have other people that are reliant on you, so
Yeah,
it kind of lies to your brain to.
It's
keep
one
doing it.
thing, you go buy that Tesla, and it's one thing, if you have to take it back or whatever. But it's another thing that the kids down back that have carried your water for the last 5 years, they're now without a job because you
Yeah.
made some stupid mistake or got some ego issue that you had to deal with. So,
Yeah.
you get a little more altruistic, a little
Yeah.
less narcissistic, in some of us,
Yeah.
not all,
Yeah.
some of us. And, you worry about those things. You go to bed at night and you're in your big, soft, cushy,
Non-poop pillow.
non-pillow bed. And, you want to make sure that everybody's taken care of. So
For sure. Yeah.
So, for people starting businesses, I know this is a common question, but there's nobody better to ask than you because you've been a part of 30 years of business in the surf industry. What's like lessons or good examples that you
enjoy
bring to
every
the table?
day and stay in the water if you're surfing.
Yeah.
Stay in the water, get in the water, keep your passion, travel, love your wife, just enjoy.
Yeah.
Just freaking enjoy. Get out of bed. I never, when I was in the surf industry from, I don't know, it was closer to 40 years probably. I never once got out of bed and thought, fire truck, I can't do this. I hate this. I hate my life. I hate my job. I was always stoked. When doing Quiksilver, I rode a Vespa to work every day. And,
Wow.
and went down at lunch and
Do you have any
surfed.
photos of that? That would be on the internet if we looked, or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I probably not. That's up to you, but I don't
I
think so.
rode a Vespa in high school.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's fun.
Go down to 54th Street and surf at lunch. And one time I was sitting in the water, it was just, there were waves and I'm out and one of my people came running up on the beach and said, you got to get out of the water. Just rolled up and they want you and you got to get it. And I'm like, no. 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't say that was right, but, we did it. And I went and met the guy and this and that, and it all worked. But you just got to keep it in perspective.
Yeah. That's also the image of the brand too. So in a way
Yeah.
that is what you should expect if you're working with a surf company.
Right.
Were you guys always that way where kind of wear what you want, surf when you want? Did it ever change? Because you guys got super corporate, obviously.
No, we did not.
You never got corporate.
I did not.
At all three?
When Quick got corporate, I left.
Interesting.
I always had my middle finger in the air. It's a problem I have. It's a character flaw.
It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
No,
That sounds awesome.
it's a
Yeah.
character flaw. Yeah, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I've walked away from huge deals. I don't know. We walked away from Pacific Sunwear. I don't know if you know that.
At
PacSun?
At
I
Hurley
guess
or-
I know.
at
by
Hurley.
PacSun.
got it. Got it.
Yeah, I just every weekend we were on sale. Hurley brand. We were only about, I don't know. You know what? I won't even talk numbers.
Yeah.
We were getting there,
Yeah.
and they were putting us on sale. And I walked in and I said, "Stop it,
Yeah.
or we're going to drop you."
Yeah.
And they said,
Yeah.
"Right."
Right.
And we dropped them. I dropped them.
Yeah.
It was in the paper.
Good for
It was
you.
a freaking gnarly deal. And I just showed him my finger and I said, "Don't do that."
Yeah.
What were they doing?
Putting us on
Discount.
sale. Buy one, get one free. We had a brand new
They
brand.
always do that. They do that with jeans still
Yeah,
today.
they do that.
Yeah, I'm not a PacSun guy.
That's
Yeah.
I was
Great
not a
move.
Guy. I was not a Nordstrom guy, PacSun guy, any of that stuff. I was aligned more with Sean Stussey's attitude about clothing and that sort of
Yeah.
thing than I
Yeah.
was necessarily with Bob McKnight or Bob Hurley.
well, you
I'm
know,
not saying anything against it. Just I personally don't go for that kind of thing.
the interesting thing about that is we've been told by so many mentors the same exact thing. That's what kills a brand, is those kind of like big box stores. And also all of us have worked at the core retailers, kind of like Mitch's or Thalia or even, Bird Rock Surf Shop, like
Yeah.
those ones that like
Becker back in the day.
Becker, there you go. And that's what
Yep.
we wanted to do as a brand already, because we already saw other things. But then people like you who would say the same thing to make
Yeah.
a brand
Well,
build itself.
It's one of those things that oh golly, it's like heroin, or it's like weed. Just have a hit off the joint. I'm afraid I don't want to have a hit. Next thing you know, you're freaking addicted to heroin. You go into a business like in the old days, Sports Chalet, Broadway,
Missed that spot.
Nordstrom, PacSun, and they're whores.
Yeah.
I mean, I say it with love, my daughter's trust funds are very hot, very stuffed because of them. You just start to get that little bit of curvature in your spine, and then you
Scoliosis.
bend over, and then first thing you know, you're bending over pretty good. And the last thing, you got your hands wrapped around your ankles, and you're just taking it up the rear.
Wow, hogtied and that all. Yeah, it's
My God.
Yeah, that's insane that they did that to you.
From Dick's?
No, from Paxson.
Wow.
I had a situation one night. I had, oh golly, here I go again.
Let's hear
I
it.
hate telling stories. I had 70,000 T-shirts sitting at Paxson.
Did you say last night?
No,
Oh,
Come on.
they said I had a story last night.
What?
Sorry, continue.
I had 70,000 T-shirts sitting in my truck at Paxson. About 3:34 in the afternoon, they pulled up. It was on the close date. Had to have them there Friday afternoon by 5 o'clock, or Monday morning the order was canceled. Stop date.
Sure.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had 70,000 T-shirts sitting there at 3. The receiving department closed at 4. They put my driver off until 4:30, and they said, we won't take the shirts. And I said, whoa. And I got on the phone, and I called the buyer, and I said, you can't do this. And they said, well, I said, my driver's been there for an hour and a half. I said, you can't do this. This is not right. And they said, well, give us 40% off on the T-shirts, the 70,000 T-shirts, and we'll take them.
Jesus.
Just held you hostage there.
No, they just rammed me right up the bunghole.
Yeah.
So we got it worked out, but I just said, never again.
Yeah.
As God is my witness, I will not do business with Paxson again.
That's awesome.
And then the opportunity came up to make things right. And I said, stop putting us on sale. I'm tired of your behavior.
Yeah.
You guys do not do business the way our company wants to do business. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so we dropped them.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah, good for you.
And I'll tell you, the Dick's Sporting Goods and the Paxsons and the, on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
Yeah.
It's not what they think about.
Yeah.
They teach them to do that.
Yeah. Are there
So-
any good ones though? Like
No.
like REI.
Are there any, vegetarian lions?
I don't know.
Maybe.
There might be one.
Eli, can you
Never
search
say
Look it
this,
up,
please?
Eli. Look it up. Vegetarian lions. No.
REI might be a
sure.
vegetarian lion.
REI
gotta be.
sucks ass. Sorry, REI. No, I don't know that. We never dealt with REI.
The answer is
But-
no.
Okay, that's a no.
Yeah.
That's a hard no.
It's the nature of what they are. Remember the old lady that walked out in the middle of winter, and she walks out in her front yard and there's a snake frozen to death on the ground, and she picks it up and poor snake, poor little snake, takes it inside, puts it by the fire, warms it up, saves its life, feeds it over the winter, and then spring rolls around and she takes the snake out in the front yard and lovingly sets it on the grass and and the snake turns around and bites her.
And she dies.
And she's laying on the ground dying. And she said, what? I took care of you. And and the snake says, I'm a snake. It's what I do. Understand that.
Yeah.
And it's what those guys do. And I'm sorry. I didn't make the rules.
Yeah.
I'm just reporting on them.
Yeah. I mean, it is a different time too with online business, e-commerce, if you
It's
will.
a different thing.
It's a different thing now where I think you have a lot more leverage as a clothing company than you probably experienced. You pretty much could only do that unless you had your own store.
That was the business plan.
That
Was the business
yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
100% agree. But they come to you and they speak to you in silk tongue.
Slytherin.
We'll give you an opening order of $50,000 per store times 40 stores.
Yeah,
And you're
you're-
just like,
Yeah, drooling. Yeah.
we used to have at Quiksilver, we had Broadway come in on December 20th. We're trying to make our year. And they said, we'll give you an order for $300,000, but you got to, do all these things.
Yeah.
And we were, okay. But that's it. That's what,
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound bitter, but that's their job.
Yeah.
They train the buyers how to just screw you to the floor. Oh man, I'm getting bitter, aren't I? That's their job.
Yeah.
It's reality. Yeah.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
And you can go there and it feels good until you're got your hands wrapped around your ankles and you're taking it from the back, and then all of a sudden it's like not good. But you're addicted. Can't get out.
To what
Well, we're going to do our own thing for as long as we possibly can.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Our own thing.
Yeah. Well,
Forever.
we're lucky that we have online to
Yeah.
lean back on
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, we would never go into Tilly's or PacSun.
No.
It's just a different
You,
world
say,
nowadays.
you say that now.
I don't think we would. I don't
You're-
I mean, we're like 70% online, which
Yeah.
is we like that. We like that.
No, 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
But you'll be at a show and 15 suits will walk up and we're with, I don't know, whoever.
Yeah.
We'd like to talk to you. And the second you say, well, come on in and sit down, you're fire trucked. Just don't do it. Just, we don't have capacity. You gotta understand. We can't supply you. And they come in and then you turn your whole, you try to supply them, you turn your whole volume up, you get all new contractors, you get all new financing, you go, make the commitments and you do that, and then that becomes your business model.
Yeah.
And Freddie gets a raise and Lupe gets a raise and the cutters and the thing, everybody gets a raise. You take home an extra $50,000 that year and life is good.
Short-term happiness.
It's heroin.
Yeah.
Woo.
Well, we learned something today,
Yeah.
folks.
Cocaine and heroin. And the
Don't
plane.
do drugs.
I
Hey, the
drew,
number of
I
guys-
drew a plane off of a hockey stick.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. I saw you doing that.
The number of guys that I've known that are gone from narcotics in the surf business because they just started making bank. Things I've seen, the piles of blow I've looked at, just gone.
Yeah.
It's just nutty. It was a different time,
Yeah.
but it's still the same concept.
Yeah.
Stay focused. Stay focused on your friends. Stay focused on your wives and your girlfriends, and take good care of all your kids. And
I have a girlfriend, by the way, just so you know.
Just so everybody
you're
knows.
worried
so you
about
know.
that, aren't you?
Yeah.
He's
No,
really
I mean,
worried.
you can't just say those things.
That's why he wore camo today.
Nah, I'm just giving you crap. I got to pick on somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah, might
that's
as
fine.
well be him.
Well, are there any last questions that we want to ask?
Well, there's one question I got to ask. Can we do a 1 minute tinkle break?
Yeah.
We could just
we
call
could
it.
we could close
Call
it with
it?
a
Yeah,
tinkle
let's
break.
just call it and let's just pee and then we'll hear all the good stuff.
Okay.
Let's
Done.
do that.
Okay.
All right,
Thanks,
thank
Mike.
you.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
thank
Mike.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know how this is going to look or edit or whatever. I'm scared to death.
You
We're
sound like
pretty-
a
We should
radio.
do this more often.
Just so you know, we're pretty much not going to edit it. It's going to go straight through.
Yeah.
I have something of a pocket for you.
If you want.
Here, did you see this?
Oh,
I
wait,
know
wait.
what it's gonna
I'm
be.
not looking. I'm not looking.
You missed it. You wanted that, dude.
There we go.